welcome back to another episode of Reach Your Happy with Laura. I am Laura, and today I am going to talk about a wild thing that happens that makes me believe that how the world works, how Mother Nature works, how we evolve as a species, what we go through is all on purpose. So the topic of today is what you heal from is what your gift to the world is. So you may not be a service provider, if you will, doing Reiki or being a life coach or being a therapist. You may not work in that sense, but what you feel through, what you heal through is what then is the gift to your wife, to your children, to every person that you encounter. So oftentimes I have asked myself, why am I going through this? Why do I have to deal with this? And now that it's been some time, almost 20 years, where my original purpose started to take root and expand, I now realize everything I go through is preparing me to then be a teacher for somebody else. So my earliest experiences was being a caregiver for my mom. And although I was very young and was never asked to be a caregiver, was never asked to take on any kind of responsibility, I took on the responsibility of trying to be as joyful as I could, trying to be as compassionate and loving and not judgmental towards my mom as she underwent her experience with cancer for almost 10 years. And through that process, I learned what it looks like to put your own needs to the side and be so highly focused on someone else, you're not even aware of your body's cues of hunger, of fatigue, of overwhelm. I was so tuned into my mom and her experience, I wasn't aware of myself. And until I started to, and that said, I was really emotional. I was really, maybe not angry, but there was deep agitation because I didn't feel like I had the space or the capacity or the permission to feel the way I actually felt because I was in the Catholic Church growing up, and it was very much so embedded in my mind that I did good, so good happened. Jesus would reward me for being good, and to me being good meant, like, I got accolades at school for being kind, for being of service, for holding the door, for letting someone cut me, for giving up my seat, for all these different things, right? Giving. So I thought that all this giving, I gotta be stacking up some points, right? That's how it works, right? In my little kid mind, that's how it worked. And when my mom died, it was like, it was earth-shattering because it didn't make sense to me. I did everything right. I was so good. So what happened here? Why did I do what I did if I wasn't going to be rewarded for my good? And now, almost 18 years away from her passing, I see that it's not a reward and punishment system. It's not. It's energy. What you put out comes back to you, right? People say karma, like, oh, karma's a bitch, you're gonna get it. What they mean, well, what some people mean when they use karma is you did bad and expect something bad to come back to you. And when my mom died, I was questioning, well, so I did all this good, and then this is like the worst case scenario. Like, why is this happening to me? And let's see, 5, 6, 9 years later, I then started my Reiki practice. I was then giving to people. I was then receiving the healing through myself and giving it to other people. So everything I experienced about being a caregiver and giving of myself, I got shown then, right, back with my mom, that you don't get rewarded for overgiving, for overwatering a plant. You don't get anything for that. So in opening my own business, people have always asked me, you must be so tired, and I learned my lesson in such a powerful way with my mom that no amount of me giving to her and being kind to her and trying to bring joy into her life would save her. My work isn't to save my clients. My work isn't even, I use the word healer because that's the best way I could describe it. I channel healing energy that assists you as the receiver to find your own balance, to find your own alignment, your connection to you and who you really are and how you want to be living your life. But if I made it my job to save you, to make you happy, to force you through the door of awakening, I would be quite miserable. I'd be back when I was in 3rd grade with the migraines and being so sick all the time. So I learned my lesson there. And so everything you go through is preparing you for what's next. So then my mom died and we had about a year, and my dad found a new partner and he got married and all that stuff. And my fiance now, his mother recently died and his dad has moved on, and similar experience. And I remember being like 16, being like, this is hard for me. I just lost mom and now I'm getting adjusted to a new woman, and this is such an interesting experience. And I remember having some wisdom from losing my mom of like, this is important somehow, but I'm in a lot of pain, so I can't quite see. And that's the thing, when we're going through the learning period, you often can't see the bigger lesson. You can't. It's not what's supposed to happen. You're not supposed to be able to see the big picture. But with enough life experience, you can start to assume, going through something tough, something's gonna give. Some breakthrough, some new realization, some new way of being, something I'm gonna get out of this. So when my fiance's mom died and his dad moved on, and that was an adjustment, I was able to heal in a more deep way with my own dad and his partner, because I saw it from such a different light. And so my whole experience, so now I work with cancer patients. That's not a majority, a good amount of my business is working with cancer patients. And I know, again, almost 18 years since my mom has passed, I know very well the different mindsets that someone going through cancer can be in. And I can now hold space for someone going through treatment or at the end of their life, because I've experienced that before. I have the wisdom and the knowledge of what that can look like, and I have compassion for it because I've been there as the witness to someone, the person I love the most, going through that too. And if my mom would have told me this was going to be worth something later, you're going to help a lot of people because of what you're experiencing with me now. Of course, my mom couldn't see that. I couldn't see that. But now that I'm looking back, right? Hindsight is 20/20. It's like, I see why I had to experience being of service, dealing with someone dying of cancer. I see why I had to deal with my dad moving on as quickly as he did. I see now. Okay, that makes perfect sense. So when you're in the thick of it, it's hard to see. It's really hard to see. When my niece got attacked by he's not our dog anymore, I remember sitting on my staircase screaming at this guy, asking why. Why? I was so angry. I was confused again. Why am I in this damn predicament again. Why am I here again? And flash forward to who my niece is today and her confidence and her embodying her scars and her understanding of boundaries, her understanding of the world. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I also have the gift of being able to be a medical medium for animals. It's like every pain point I have is also a gift of mine. And I know that's true of you. What you've experienced, your trauma, your pain, your heartache, your physical pain is a gift to the rest of the world and you. But the link in between is processing your pain, is processing your trauma, your experience. And I guess with this message today, I am hoping to plant a seed of hope for you. That what you're experiencing, the pain you're in or have experienced in the past was not for nothing. We don't suffer unnecessarily unless you aren't willing to process your pain and make something of it. And right when the pain's happening, that's not the time. There is a point in time though. Sometimes it's 6 months, sometimes it's 6 days, 6 years, 16 years. There's some amount of time in between the pain point, like the actual event, and the ability to see the incredible benefit that that's had to your life and how it shifted your perspective. And I have client after client come to me. What's my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? How do I know that I'm living a life worth living? How do I know that? And we are purposeful just by being alive, by existing with your personality and who you are and your family and your world and your job. If you're a stay-at-home mom, whatever your thing is right now, that is purposeful. But we feel like it's something outside of us. No, it's being who you are unapologetically. It's showing up in your pain, in the depths of your experience, and knowing this is for something. Everything is on purpose. Every problem has a giant solution every time. You are never, ever pigeonholed. Never. There is always a solution for your problem. And keeping this in mind, again, just planting a seed of hope that there are answers for me. There are solutions for me. And right now I'm in the thick of it, and maybe it's not time to look around trying to see the sunny side, but your suffering is not pointless. Your pain is not pointless. So when you find yourself in the dark woods of your experience, feeling lost and confused and unsure, just remember, someone else has been through these woods and made it out. And I have every right to do the same thing. And when I get out of the woods, the highest level of service is to turn around and say, how can I help you through your woods? If someone's willing. Because not everyone's willing. Some people just want to stay there, and that's okay. But trust that you will attract the people, the experiences, the roles, the conversations where you are offering them a chunk of light that they needed. You are here on purpose. So that is all I have for you today. Thank you for tuning in. I ask that you continue to have faith in your journey, in the pain, in your trauma, in the upheaval of your life, because it is all on purpose. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is off or wrong with you or your experience. Things definitely could feel better. Just remembering that it is possible that this is going to be something that opens my eyes in a way, that helps me connect with people in a way, that turns on a gift in me that I did not even realize I had within me. Real quick, I'll tell you a story. I had a session where I saw in this woman's stomach that we're all born with gifts, God-given gifts. Some people have 7, some people have 30, some people have 2, some people have 1, some people have 100. But we are all born with specific gifts. And all our work as humans is to be introspective, to notice what impact we make on ourselves, on the people around us. Your gift could be the gift of leadership. Your gift could be the gift of honesty. Your gift could be a psychic medium that helps dead people cross over. Gifts are what they are. There's no better or worse gift. Some have many, some have a few, but regardless, it is purposeful. And I like to think back to when we didn't have this seclusion of our own homes, and we instead lived in villages and big communities where our family was gathered, and we had the hunters and the gatherers and the healers and the fire stokers, and right, everyone had a specific role. And now that we've separated a bit, it's kind of like, what do I do? I'm not quite sure. What's my place? You get to decide. And that's the beautiful thing about evolution. You get to decide. There's not any specific thing that you need to do, but honor where you feel called. If you feel like volunteering, go volunteer. You're supposed to be there. You don't feel that calling for nothing. When I first, I said I was done, I guess I'm not done. When I first volunteered for the cancer group Team Cork, it was so hard for me. I'm like, why the heck am I doing this? I've already been through this. A mother and a daughter came in one time, and the mother was in remission, and the daughter was so happy, and I just remember being like, this hurts so bad. I'm so happy for them, but it's pointing out how sad I am that that didn't happen to me. And I had to go through a lot of digesting the fact that I went through that at such a young age and how hard that was. And then I came out on the other side and I'm happy. And now that Team Cork, these people are family. They have helped me heal. It's like, I get you. And you get me, and it's such a beautiful thing. So no matter how bad it hurts, there is purpose to it. But I haven't experienced something kind of dropping down, some God dropping down and be like, here, Laura, this is what you do with this. I had to listen to me. I had to keep facing my fears big time. Like going to the cancer center and be like, I cannot bawl my eyes out. I have 4 clients in a row. I cannot lose it. These people are going through freaking treatment. I can't lose it on them. That's not fair. I'm supposed to be a clear channel, a neutral space for them to show up. And you know what? It turned out better than I had expected. But my way there, I'm sweating thinking about it. So your purpose, your gifts, your heart's desires, those don't come without a little fear around the edges. So just because you experience some fear, don't give up hope. That's just our humanness, you know? If we didn't have fear, we'd be walking out into traffic, and that wouldn't be very good. So I am going to leave you on this note. Take good care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.